Laner'z. Good morning. Hello, guys. Y'all, welcome to my live. My name is Cheryl Grabowski, and I'm talking exclusively to the deep laners. Where y'all at in the building? Hold on, let me check the lighting on the phone right quick. There it is. That's more light. Y'all, I don't know why it dropped, y'all. That was crazy. Good morning, guys. Good morning. It is the Grabowski Morning Show. Good morning, guys. I got a 30 minutes. Let's discuss. Let's have a discussion. Where are the moderators? Where y'all at? Y'all don't be in here no more. I got a brand new channel now. A brand new channel. Listen, I appreciate you guys who have been hitting the replay and listening to the videos. I want to ask y'all to do a special favor for me. So, if you're not streaming and if you are busy, I want you to go to YouTube and type in any video of mine or any live and let it play. What's up, Rich the Fresh Fish in the building? Hey, Rich, thank you so much for watching and for coming in the lives. And I just got a phone call. Sorry. I just got a phone call because we got a little get together going today, a get together going today. But good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all coming in. I'm out and about this morning. Got a little piece of this and a little piece of that going on. Thank God that I'm off tomorrow. Again, the Grabowski Morning Show. And YouTube is a fantastical place. Yes, it is. Y'all come on in. I guess I'm gonna have to start um but I hate to do that. I'm not gonna do that. I am not going to what you call it schedule a live because I ain't gonna be there. Because I mean that's how crazy my schedule is. Okay, so I know y'all saw it in the caption. This is a Deep Laners exclusive, and we are talking about the big, fantastical word God, whatever that means to you. I don't know whatever that means to you. I don't know what part of the world you grew up in. I don't know what you were taught by your parents because your parents are your biggest influencer or the person who was your guardian. Whoever was responsible for teaching you that concept or the idea about God. I don't know who that was. Could have been your grandma. Like I said, it could have been your mama or your daddy. You might have grown up in an orphanage somewhere and you went to church or wherever you could have, I don't know what happened, but whoever you got that first training of who God was. Let us discuss. Let us discuss what is that and what does it mean? I know not fix it. My live is still dropping. Lord have mercy. That it did not fix it. I thought that when I went over there to Spectrum yesterday that it fixed it, but it did not fix it. It still is not fixed. And that makes me feel yucky. But I am not a quitter. Y'all know that. I'm probably the most resilient woman on YouTube and one of the most powerful content creators and influential people in the world. Now, my opinion and my perspective is mine, but I'm really mostly um eh, inquisitive about yours. Who is God to you and what does that mean to you? You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? Like what were you taught? And then are you holding to the traditions that you were taught uh, initially? What's up, KC the one? Let me turn some air on, baby, because I done got hot. I done got hot. I done got hot, baby. I was gonna try not to turn the air on. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So again, what does that mean to you? Because I'm all over social media. Good morning or grand rising. Maybe the algorithm don't like that word, grand rising. But anyway, so I'm all over social media, all over. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I've only tweeted like twice, or not Twitter, but X. They call it X now. Um, I'm on TikTok. I'm all over the place, and there are some fantastic like me. Like is I'm a fantastic influencer on social media, and so I want to have a discussion with y'all today. As far as what do y'all believe? My mother cheated on my uncle. What do y'all believe about God? Tell me in the chat. Interact with me today. I want to know, what do you believe, or how do you do that? Is God your best friend? Is God and what do you call that word? Is God a um what is that word? Authoritarian. I don't know why I cannot pronounce that. Is God is God mean? Do you does God is God paranoid? Like, how do you feel? Y'all come and talk to me. This is a Deep Laners exclusive, okay? It's not like the mother lives. This is something different, okay? What do y'all think? Who is God to you? Do you not believe in God? Like, what is going on with you with that? Really, I'm serious. Um, so I'll just tell you what I've heard in the social media streets. Okay, I'm back. I don't know exactly what's going on. The phone is glitching. They got all kind of stuff going on. Oh my God. Okay, so let me tell you what I learned. So I learned that God the Father is in heaven. And I learned that um God has a son, and his son's name is Jesus. That's what I learned. And that Jesus sits on the right hand of the Father. That's what I learned. All right. But so lately, I've been just, oh my God, I just heard so much. So lately, I've listened to a content creator talk about their work. That story really is borrowed. And there are stories that's way older than that story. And that technically, that there is a God of the Bible, but he's the bad person. You know what he say? That's what they say of the Old Testament. They said that he is the bad one. So I got to find y'all the video. And I was like, what? I've never heard of that before. I've never heard that, what? And they gave the name for him. And they say he also created humanity. That's what they say. All right. I got all right, TikTok is delivering something to my house right now. Um, uh, Deborah says, I'm blessed to wake up this morning. He bought me a mighty long way. My peace in the word from our Heavenly Father. Okay, so that's how you view it. Um, Shiny World said, nothing in my life is done without God. When I breathe, I need Him. When I sleep, I need Him. Strong emphasis on Him. When I make decisions, I need Him. I am nothing without Him, Shiny World says. So that is how she see it. What's up, Germinida? What's up? Jehovah God, our creator. So, so let me tell you what some of these people got this information from. So I don't know if y'all been on social media, but the Ethiopian Bible is what we're talking about today. So we know that we're over here in America, right? We're in America, and I am black. So yeah. So I'm sure that the Indians and the indigenous black people that are from here, because black people are from this topic is so heavy, this live stream is going to be dropping. I'm telling y'all that right now. So I already see that because it done dropped 5 times. This is not by mistake. I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm not on the Wi-Fi, but I did a live yesterday at the restaurant and the live didn't drop at all. So Obviously, there is something, somebody, or some robot that's manipulating my channel. So let me continue. So if you catch the replay, it'll all blend together. See what I'm saying? If you catch the replay, you'll be able to listen to all of the thoughts and they'll be, uninterrupted, be like a little glitch. So let me continue because I am a content creator and I know what I just said. So the Ethiopian Bible is a real book and it is valid and it is more original than the one that we have. Okay. The one that we have was given us by a group of people. Okay. And those people could not be trusted. Those are the facts. All right. Those people could not be trusted. And so they edited, but I want to use another word for edited. I want to use another word like they manipulated the writings, okay, for their own benefit. Because, people, even in 2026, they write themselves into power, okay? But this is not new. This has always been done. So there is an Ethiopian Bible that I'm going to purchase myself. And so this person and millions of people, well, thousands, maybe not millions, maybe it is millions, are referring to the dang on Ethiopian Bible. And the Ethiopian Bible tells of a story of how that story that we know how it came to be. And it mentions a whole lot more than just that one creator. There's a plot. It is so interesting. And so I got to go find the Ethiopian Bible so I can understand what's going on because I know what I've heard and what I've taught does not serve humanity. I know that. I know there's more to the picture, right? Because of the results or the lack of results that humanity has gotten. I know that the way that we live now and the way that we believe and the way that we think and the way that we treat each other is not good. And so I know that most of what we have learned does not serve us. And the evidence is our life and what's going on now. That's the evidence of it. When it comes to African Americans, our children, our uncles, and our dads are in and and then what we've learned about God is not helping it. Now, we here and there, we are doing okay, here and there. But the African American people at large, we're not doing okay. And we're the most religious group out of them all. We are the ones who are co signing Jehovah and the Bible itself, King James Version to be exact. We're the ones that have been taught it. And we're the ones that go to Sunday school. And we're the ones that go to church. Or if we don't go to church, we cleave to our Bibles at home. But it's not serving us as African American people because and you might say, well, sure, it serves me. But I'm saying you as an individual, I'm asking you, how many people do you know personally that it has served? And I'm talking about real stuff. I'm not talking about little bitty stuff. I'm not talking about you having a job. I'm not talking about you having a car. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about you having a little health care. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about where it really serves you. I mean, overall, as a person. That's what I'm saying. It is time for us to look behind the veil. And I am getting ready to look into that Ethiopian Bible because I know that what I've been taught don't serve me. And so I didn't want to make this personal. I wanted to listen to y'all, but y'all ain't really talking to me like that. You know what I'm saying? So I know that when I was 33 years old, I said, oh no, I'm done. I'm done with everything that was taught me. I'm done with it because I followed it to the tilt. And I was in love with it. I did not play with it. You understand what I'm saying? I want that type of Christian that said, well, God is still working on me. No, no, no. If I heard that this won't right or that won't right and put that down, don't do that there. That's what I did. I did that. When I heard to submit to my husband and love my husband and to obey my leadership, I did that. That's what I did. I did it for a long time. I did all that. I fasted and prayed, and all my friends were Christians, and I witnessed to the sinners and brought people to the church. I did it all. Tithes and offerings, everything. I did everything on a whole nother level. And most of the people that was around me, and I had a lot of people around me. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm a good observer. I know those people. I still remember those people. A lot of them didn't even read that Bible. And if they did, they went to the book of Proverbs and read a little piece. They didn't even take the time to read the whole thing. No, they didn't. And most of the time, they listened to everything that their pastor said instead of showing to show thyself approved. So, from what I read, that a real Christian is supposed to do, most people don't even qualify for this day. Even till this day, the people that say that they love God and they say Jehovah or Father God in Jesus, they do not qualify for the very God that they say is got their back. You must have never read the Bible. Have you really read it? Good morning, Tanya. Because most of y'all haven't. I'm telling y'all what y'all do. Because I used to do it. I used to do it. I used to pray. hmm I used to make sure I fast. And I went to church. And I lived a decent lifestyle. Back in those days, I used to call it, I lived a holy lifestyle. That's what I used to call it. And because I abstained from everything. And I did not, you know what I'm saying? I really did. You know what I'm saying? I did not play around with it at all. So I know because I've been there, I've done that. And the people that were around me were not those kinds of Christians. They did what they wanted to do. And then they asked for forgiveness. And then they went to church. See what I'm saying? They lived in, so I'm saying most of y'all don't really understand. Your Bible does not uphold you. It does not. You're not living the way that you're supposed to live. So what you do is, Tanya said, "Sure, I done all that. I'm with you. I want to read the Ethiopian Bible." What you've done is, because I've done it, so I know what you're doing is, you go to church, you pay your tithes, you read your Bible, and you pray. And then you got some other things that's tore up. So then you say, well, grace covers that. And then I repented and I asked God to forgive me. But then you've been doing that for 15, 20 years. So that what you're suffering from, Tanya, get into it. Get into it with me. You're suffering what they call cognitive dissonance, which is a mental illness, really. Because if you got this thing that you love and you believe in, then you will do that thing according to what you know is right. You won't have a cheat card. The cheat card is praying for forgiveness. That's the cheat card. You won't have that. So what you guys have is, if you one of them people, you dealing with, what's up, Jenkins? What they call cognitive dissonance. See what I'm saying? That what you know not to do, you do it anyway. A little gossip, a little cuss word here and there, a little masturbating here and there. You know what you do. You know what I'm saying? You can't, y'all see, a lot of time people can't deal with me like that because I'm you. I used to be you, so I know you. I know what you're doing. I was the secretary of the church and watched so much go down with the saints. I ain't been back since. See what I'm saying? But what they do, Tanya, what they do, because I used to, no, I won't like y'all. I'm just saying. But I still wasn't safe either. And I lived it down to the ground. I wasn't safe either. I wasn't. And I lived down to the ground. So the Ethiopian Bible is something new. And I'm not going to the Ethiopian Bible to get right with God. Don't get it twisted. We're not going to the Ethiopian Bible to get right with God. I just want to know what else is out there because the one that I was dealing with ain't it. And if you were really into it, you should have figured that out too. But it takes a level of it just takes being real and like I am, right? It takes being transparent like I am. It takes a little piece of takes a big piece of courage. It takes a big piece of pattern recognition because you got to see the pattern in the Bible itself. You got to see the pattern in the literature, the pattern recognition in there. And then you also see it in the people in the lives of the people who say that this Bible thing has made them whole. You got to look at that too. And then once you do all of that, then you come up. And I did this by 33 years old. So I was young when I did it, and I haven't regretted it since. It was just too much for me. It was too much of that cognitive dissonance thing. It was too much of not seeing stuff for what it really is, and then doing that forgiveness ticket. You know what I'm saying? That ticket of, I'm going to ask for forgiveness, and God, I'm still a work in progress. God is still working on me, but at the same time, as a Christian, you feel like you right with God and the other people are wrong, that there are sinners, especially the ones that don't go to church and the ones that don't confess. You know what I'm saying? And that's what really used to egg me. It used to really grind my gears when I heard preachers and other Christian people look down on folks, what they call sinners. Thank you, Tanya, so much, boo. Thank you so much. Girl, I'm going to take that food and give me that money, give me some good food. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Tanya. I really do. So, what do you think about God? I'm just asking the question, like, what do you think, and does that serve you? You know what I'm saying? If what's holding you is the heaven ticket, is that, girl, Jesus is coming back, girl, and when I leave here, I gotta be saved. Who is your narcissist, if I may ask? I gotta be safe when I leave this world, Cheryl, because I don't want to burn eternally. Are you okay? Because that's a story that would scare a child. But let's get into that. Because on my channel, we talk about childhood trauma, right? And the religious dogma is a trauma. And it's called religious trauma. That story that was told you about the hateful God in the place called hell is abuse. You've been abused. It's no different than being in a relationship. What's up, Benny White? There's no difference in being in a relationship with a toxic man. He tell you that if you leave him, he gonna kill you. It's the same exact thing. If you don't serve God, you gonna die. You gonna go to hell. It's the same. That's abuse. That goes with the cognitive dissonance too, right? So it's very much a childhood thing. So whatever scared you in your childhood, more than likely gonna scare you in your adulthood. And so that all goes back to two. That's why I said I'm gonna go get the Ethiopian Bible, but I'm not looking for God in it. I just want to study it. You see what I'm saying? I look for God in me. That's where God is. God is in me. God is in you. That's where you find God at. God is on the inside. God is inside. God is you. God is in you as you. He's you. Um, he is you, but he presents himself as you. And it's God is not a he. It's a habit when I call God he. It's a habit. Sure, I pay my tithes to you because they say you should pay your tithes to where you eat from. I have been eating from you for 2 years. I owe so much more, but I'm getting it together. Thank you very much, girl. And I totally agree. And I do the same. I give too. But I just cannot see myself giving it to a narcissist who's buying a better car, uh, Yeezy tennis shoes, and putting more clothes on his wife back and going on lavish vacations. I can't do it. I can't give it to a narcissist who is competing with his other pastor friends to see which one can get the bigger houses with the better I can't do that. I can't do that. Now, if I ever met a pastor in person and he was an empath, right? And he was really helping people, or she, and I knew that they knew that that the King James Bible is not it, but they still teach from it because it, can be considered, little pieces of history. But really, you research and break that Bible down in other religious books. That's why I be thinking sometimes, Tanya, I need to open up my own outreach because that which I desire in a person, I can't find it. I wonder if I would be the only person that is that way. We would be teaching metaphysics. We would definitely deal with the King James Bible, but we also would have the Ethiopian Bible. The church would be very diverse and very inclusive, very much so. And God would not be a man. Ain't no way. There is. God would not be a man. But I am meeting so many men on social media that say God is a woman too. They say, ain't no way. They say, ain't no way. And it's a beautiful thing. Y'all think it's a game. It's not. I'm going to tally up some TikToks and we're going to go through them. You better get yourself right. But nobody spoke about hell. Jesus Christ is the one who spoke about hell. Just in case said, sure, you better get yourself right. Oh, no, don't talk to me like that. That is terrible. Are you out your mind? I pay my own mortgage. Are you crazy? Hmm, you must be crazy. They won't be able to tell you they can't handle me now. God is the family. God is man, woman, and child. I like that. Thank you. Remain confident. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I do like that. They won't be able to handle me. They can't stand me now. I believe that some of my real clients that I've been doing their hair for years, I believe that some of them have gone away. And I believe it's because of how I tore the church up on Facebook for supporting. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say his name. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say his name. But my auntie told me yesterday uh, that my auntie told me yesterday that my other auntie, not the two that y'all done met, is another one, and my niece and them are are MAGA. Did y'all hear me? And I clutched my pearls. Don't put his name in here, y'all. Jews, don't do that. My live is already going through. Don't put the name in there. Call him Dorito Man or something. Don't put the name in there because I'm not mentioning that name. I'm already over here struggling. Okay. Period. But yeah, it floored me. And I went on Facebook and months and months ago, and I ate them up. I chewed them up and put them in a grinder and turned them to powder and dust because Tanya Boo, if they believe that this person is God's person, then they have never heard a word or they do not know at all. If they believe that that person is God's person, they never heard a word God ever said. They are not in touch with their Kundalini spirit. They are not in touch with spirit. They do not know what spirit or is, and they are narcissists, and they are my family members. But I told y'all from the beginning that I come from a highly narcissistic family. And a lot of my family members are church members. And I told y'all the church is plagued with narcissists. I told y'all that. This man the other day called Kenneth Copeland out. And the things that this was another white preacher. Oh, he was so mad. He said the things that he found out that Mr. Kenneth Copeland is doing. He said he got the receipts, and he said if Kenneth Copeland say anything to him about what he had exposed, he said he ain't exposed him yet. He will expose him, and he will let everybody know what he is doing. Okay. My two daughters are getting their money together to send me down there to you for you to do my hair. I have a niece in Rocky Mount, so that's where I will be staying. I will let you know ahead of time. Okay. I think you said something about that Tanya a while back about coming to North Carolina. And I think Sonya said she wanted to come to North Carolina too. But anyway, y'all, you might as well, girl, 'cause everybody under the sun is coming to North Carolina. Okay, this is the place. But I'm trying to find me a place here that's very woodsy and very quaint where I could create a venue for empaths and beautiful spirits, and that might be where we have our meetings at. Cause I mean, who else? I mean, it fits me like a glove. Okay, it just fits me, Tanya. This is my life. This is what I do. This is what I love. This is what I don't need no notes. I just don't need nothing. I can just talk for days about this freedom that I experience and all of what I've noticed. And I'm not the only one. There are some people that are like me now, but I don't know them personally. I don't know them personally. But Tanya, I think you're very much like me too. I really do. But yeah, guys, that Ethiopian Bible, we're going to get into it. Because them people took from that book and they wrote themselves in the power. We still fighting. We still going through this now. They trying to point you back to the Bible, not just the Bible itself, the part that says that we're supposed to be slaves. I don't know what the black Christians, Tanya Boo, I don't know what the black Christians gonna do after a while. Because after a while, these people are they're gonna want them to help them put black people back in slavery and use that same scriptures, use that same ideology to do it. Now, I saw Bishop Paul Morton go off. It was a meeting somewhere. I think it was like at a city council meeting. And Bishop Paul Morton said, we ain't going back. He said, we're not going back to slavery. But I want to tell Bishop Paul Morton this. You're gonna have to lose that, you're gonna have to let go of that Bible. You're gonna have to let it go. I'm telling you, black Christians, you're gonna have to let it go. And you say, sure, why? What? But God ain't in it no way. God ain't in it. God is in you. You better find God outside of some of the things that book have been saying. Y'all better figure this thing out. Or do you need me to help you? You're gonna have to figure it out because they're gonna use that very thing to do that, like they did before. I know, sure. I have a sister and four nieces that moved to North Carolina within the past year. My niece was like, Auntie, come on, LOL. But they pay me so well here in Portland, Oregon. I know, girl. I know. Maybe you need to get some money together and maybe buy you a place where you could at least like, I don't know, take big vacations and come here for a while. But they gonna use it. I heard a preacher say, and then I got to go back in now because I got to do what I got to do. What time is 11:47? I heard a preacher say they need to close. So you don't believe in God? Listen, I heard a white preacher say they need to close black churches. Check this out. This is deep. They need to close black churches, and then the black churches need to find qualified pastors to teach them what the Bible says because their black preachers are not doing that. So what does that sound like to y'all? They want the majority of black churches to shut down. So they're gonna take your job as being a pastor. So you won't be able to take no tithes and offerings up. They're gonna put you back in the poorhouse. And we already know, yes, they did, girl. Oh yeah, no, oh no. Oh, he said that I didn't say that. Yeah. Um, yeah, he said that. So what does that sound like to y'all? When the black people start gaining wealth, that's how they gained it from becoming preachers, and then they would have congregations. That's how black people got their footing in the beginning. So this is crazy. These people sat around the table. These people sat around the table. These historians sat around the table and they went back to see how the success started. And then they want to pull the legs out from us from how it started. So so Black Mac are gonna get it. Black Mac are gonna get it. Thank you for subscribe to this channel, educational channel. That's right. Cheryl is a Trump. Don't put that word in my chat. Do you want me to block you? Don't put that in there. You're telling that to the algorithm. What I do hate is injustice, racism, and ugliness. That's what I hate. Don't put that in there. I didn't say that. I never said that. Or did I? I don't remember saying that. I hate what that person does. That's why Jesus is not coming back for the church. He is coming for his bride. Jesus is not coming back, period, baby. Because Jesus ain't never came. It's a borrowed story. If I'm saying, y'all, we got the internet nowadays. You got Google. You don't have to go into an institution or a college. You don't have to do that. You used to have to do that to find, vast knowledge. Jesus ain't coming back, baby. That's not true. It's not real. It's a fable. Jesus is that whole story is copied from a story that predated Jesus 10,000 years. But his name wasn't Jesus at the time. His name was Horus. It's a borrowed story. I know it sounds crazy. Yeah, Jesus is not coming back. Y'all stop doing that. Y'all are not in preschool. How old are y'all in this live? Because any children in here, I find out you're a child, you're going to get blocked. I don't want no children in here. Yes, he did, sweetie. Yes, he is. If you had a relationship with him, you would know. So I guess you ain't been listening to me. I guess you've not listened to me. I've been there, done that. Jesus is not real. You understand me? That's a business. That's a brand. They branded God and told stories and lies. Jesus was the name of a boat. You got Jesus walking around everywhere. Jesus. Jesus is not no Hebrew name. Jesus was black. And the apostles, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John, those are white names. Jesus is not white. That's an African book. Oh boy, the white people did a job on y'all, boy. Oh my God, Jesus is an African book. This is not even complicated. This is simple. But when you've been told a story and you've not questioned anything, you never did any research on it. Your mama and daddy them did it, and so you just do it too. And because you have emotions around the story of Jesus, Jesus died on the cross. Black people went through more than what Jesus went through. Black people suffered more than what Jesus went through. Black people were done worse than what Jesus was done on the cross. Ah, it's annoying. Y'all do y'all research. I can't. I can't. This is so silly. But anyway, y'all kiss and hug. Um, yeah, they don't want nobody to know. This is annoying. Um, Jesus not coming back, baby. You know the truth for real. Yeah, this it's really ridiculous. Oh my God. I have questioned, but I didn't go to man. I went to the source, which is the creator of the universe. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people. Like I say, y'all leave my channel. Go to the next live stream, okay? Go to the next live stream because I'm not talking to you. If you are that unevolved in your ideas about Jesus, then this ain't the place for you. This is like a master class. You're not ready for class. If you believe that the Bible is authentic and you've never questioned anything about it, or you've never done your research, this ain't the place for you. This is really abuse to you. It really is. And I care for you as a person. I do because I don't hate anybody. But I promise to God that that story is not real. It's not a real story. You understand? It's not real. And black people went through more than what Jesus went through. You know, black people went through more than what Jesus went through. Black people went through more than what Jesus went through. Okay, I don't want to hear no story about no cross and being drugged up there, and it's a horrific story. But black people went through more than what Jesus went through. Okay, I'm just trying to say it so you can get it in your head. So maybe you want to do some research as to what black people went through. But black people went through more than what Jesus went through. Okay, they went through more, way more. Okay, black people went through more than what Jesus went through. For real, this is crazy. This is crazy. All right, let me get some money out of here. I love y'all though. Y'all gotta do y'all research. Okay. Um, all fake and imagination pictures. I don't wanna listen though. Listen. I don't wanna be harsh to you. I love you. I don't wanna even hurt you. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna hurt you. But I tell you what, I promise you this. How about this? How about this? I promise you. If you take 20 days, not 30, 20. If you take 20 days and you go do your research now. Don't take my word for it. I mean it. Don't take my word for it. You go do your research for 30 days and then you come back to my channel and you don't have to choose a video or a live. You don't have to choose a video or a live, right? You don't. You could just comment on any video and you say, I was in your live that day when you talked about Jesus. And I've been doing my research. Now, if you go ask your pastor, you're gonna come to the same conclusion. If you go ask your mama, you're gonna come to the same conclusion. Now, I didn't tell you to do that. I told you to be responsible. I told you to adult. It's just like I'm asking you to heal. Same thing. I'm asking you to heal. You don't ask for your mother's permission to heal. Most of the time, you're gonna be healing from some of the things that your mother did, whether she was conscious of it or not. She could have hurt you and not be aware of it. But see, this is how healing works. You're the only person that can do it. So that's what I mean by that. Don't go ask your pastor. Don't go ask your mama. I want you to be a responsible adult. And I want you to start off by asking. You got all these AIs, you got Google, you got all kinds of um, tools to find this information. You can go to the library. It's many things that you can do. I want you to start researching for yourself. I want you to do it for 20 days. Okay. And then I want you to come back to one of my videos. It doesn't matter because my analytics is going to you talking about ask people. I'm talking telling you to ask God. No, no, no. No, that's not gonna work, baby. That's not gonna work when I'm telling you to do research because everything that you've known about God came through and by somebody else initially. You were not sitting on a porch on a summer day when you were 4 years old and then all of a sudden God started talking to you. That didn't happen. You heard, you were introduced, you heard something or seen something about God. So that's what I'm talking to. I'm really talking to your brain, actually. I'm not really talking to you because your brain has taken in all this information and then it gives you back what you think God is. Okay. So, what I want you to do is start questioning those things that have been put in your brain because you are not your brain. You have one. You have to separate the knowledge from you, the essence of who you are. You're running your whole entire system, but it has learned everything that you have ever heard. Okay. So do your research. Do your research. Now, if you come up with the same thing after 20 days, then that's your business. I don't know what to say about it though. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was in a healing program, the census was that everybody is not supposed to evolve or heal. That some people will really reincarnate back here and experience the same thing over and over. They will not evolve, you know? So it's up to you. It ain't hurting me none. I love you. Whether you figure it out or not. Okay, Peaches and Charlie. I love you. Whether you figured out or not, we are not fighting. This is not that kind of channel. This is not that kind of channel. Y'all, I am thicker than a snicker, baby. Whoa. You not making no sense. Well, you got to sit down and ponder on it, bookie boop. If you've been taught the way that you've been taught, and like I tell people all the time, this channel, this channel ain't for everybody, honey. It's a master's class, sugar. You might not get it. Right, right, Tanya. Exactly, exactly. Hold on, y'all. I have a spoke God about the one who created even you. What that mean? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Um, God bless you, sis. Didn't mean any harm. Healthy debate, but people get mad and indignant when you don't believe what they say. You don't have to believe. I don't even like that word. I don't like that word, believe. It's an ugly word. Believe is an ugly word. Believe is an ugly word. That's not a good word. Believing. How do you think you got here for the God in you created you? I got here the same way you got here through a woman. Didn't in that how I got here? Is that the way you got here too? We all got here the same way. That's how I got here. I know how I got here. How'd you get here? Yeah, I know how I got here, honey. How'd you get here? Hmm. Talking about how did I get here? Yes, there is a beginning and end to everything, but God says He is Alpha and Omega. Okay. Yeah, I heard that before too. Yeah, I heard that before too. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We gonna be talking about we're talking about our life cycle. So you have one life cycle because we're alive in this cycle, right? To ask questions and to figure some things out. That's what I'm talking about. We're not talking about an alpha and an omega. What they got to do with anything? Huh? That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with anything, sugar. You need to evolve in your thinking. That's all you got. Where my folks at? I need somebody that I could talk to, baby. Cause you ain't it. I love you though, but you ain't it. I'm saying God created us all. But what you saying that for? That's what I'm saying. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's okay. The minority always prevail over the majority. You will see. Oh no, yeah. So everyone will not agree with Cheryl, but I should. I know, girl. I mean, they don't have to. This ain't that kind of live. I mean, I was asking them in the beginning what they think. Please do your research. I know. But see, the way our mind is made, it wants to automatically, excuse me, it wants to automatically kick the information out. You know what I'm saying? The way our brain is made, it wants to honor. I just asked the question, you jumped all over me. Oh, I mean, if we're gonna have real good conversations, like I said, I'm not mad if you are a Bible believing traditional Christian. I'm not mad with you, but I'm saying I'm miles away from that. That's what I'm saying. Are y'all still here? That's what I'm saying. I'm miles away from that. And we're gonna get into the Ethiopian Bible. We're gonna get into the Ethiopian Bible because I remember when I was uh, a traditional Christian, a Pentecostal Christian. I remember, and there was this preacher that I really, really liked. Are y'all still here? Y'all still here? It was this preacher that I really, really liked, and he was preaching from the Apocrypha. So the other books of the Bible, because so yeah, he was preaching um, from the other books of the Bible, and this other preacher got really, really upset and called him a heretic. And that's what a lot of preachers do, really. Take my gum out. That's what they do. If you do anything outside, it is the only. Are y'all still here? It is the only system where you can evolve, where there's no evolution. It's the only one. And what people do is, and it is this is the like the biggest issue with it all. What people do is they say, well, God does not change. That's the thing. So to a human mind, that is a perfect uh that's a perfect way of thinking for you to be lazy minded and not to evolve. When your pastor, or like me, say for instance, I'm a traditional Christian and I got adult children, and they're asking me questions about God, and they're saying something that I've never heard before, and then I say, well, God don't change. You see how that do y'all see what that sounds like? Like if you go to your boss and you're talking to your boss about some type of situation at the job that that you see you see it like a different way, and you feel like really it should be looked at like this, and like what the policy says, but this is probably what it meant or something like that, and then the boss say, well, God don't, I mean, this system is not going to change, but they have the power to change it. So again, that's one of my biggest things that I hated so much about religion. I hated that because it's almost like it's a working system. Just follow the system. Nobody asked you to ask questions about anything. Just do what you're told. That's what I didn't like about it. Do what you're told, Cheryl. Just do what you're told. But yeah, but this is a book about, it's giving me instructions about my life. And it says here this and that, but I feel boxed in. I feel caged. I feel subdued and dominated by it, though, because I literally read it. I wasn't just looking for my pastor to tell me what it meant. I was looking into it myself because it was my manual. It wasn't the pastor's manual, right? It it was, but the pastor is not the original writer of the manual. The pastor is a person who looks into the manual and then teaches it, right? So I went to the manual on my own. And when I looked in there, the pastor wasn't talking about what I clearly saw. He didn't think about anything because he was working and it was a working system. The system worked for him, you know? And even though I was at the place where the system would work for me because people were paying tithes and offerings to me and my husband. Oh, they paying it to God. But it was our ministry. So we did with it whatever we wanted to do with it, as all pastors do, right? Almost like that slush fund. Y'all know about the slush fund? Like that. You do with it what they do with it what they want, right? So I studied it on my own. I looked into it on my own. Like, wait a minute. It said what? And then it said, what? But then I realized that my friends and my Christian friends and, lay people and ministers and all that, they were not into it. They just were committed to it. They were committed to going to church, to being named as a Christian, working the auxiliaries, being faithful to the pastor. They were committed to that. They spent their time into all of that. But that's not what I did. I did that too. But I studied the manual. And oh my God, when I studied the manual, oh my God, that was too much. I was like, what? The thing about studying the manual is that, you know how when you do mirror work, you see yourself, you're looking into your own mirror. When you do introspection, you're looking into your own mirror and everything like that. But when you're looking into the Bible, you see everybody. And then I come up with the conclusion that, oh my God. Oh, hold on for a minute. Can you hear me? I'm telling you. So then when I got into my Bible and you could see everybody, and then I was like, oh no, these people don't have These people have been these people have made, how should I say it? These people have made claims that they can't back up. These people don't have a leg to stand on. These people are not authentic. These people are not real. And don't get me the wrong way. Don't get it the wrong way. You saying sure you were judging, but it's a judging system. Can I get somebody in the chat to say amen about that? It is a judging system. You're accusing me of judging, but that's all they ever did. It's a judging system. They were checking the credit of people who said they were ministers, because if you had bad credit, then they would not allow you to preach. They were looking into your lifestyle, and if you had something that other people knew about, then they were not dealing with you. These people were judging. If you came to church and your dress was that much shorter than what they thought was correct, then they would shun you and treat you bad. These people were judging. But then when I saw them, because I went to the manual, that's all I'm saying. And that was when I was 33 years old, and I've been deconstructing. There is a name for what I do and what I'm doing and what has happened to me and what is happening in me. It's called deconstructing. That's what it's called. Deconstructing. That's what it's called. So, yeah, we have on TikTok. Oh, I love TikTok so bad. Let me see if I can. We have millennials, deconstruct millennials. We have millennials. They are so beautiful. Oh my God. And they are so smart. People always say negative things about young people. That is not how I see young people. I love them so bad. I love them down to the ground, because the way that they're able to see through the smoke screen is nothing less than remarkable. I love it. I love it. And so yeah, no, I mean, I would want to be honest with you, I would want to take my cross, my Jesus, and the part of the story um, that is so beautiful and it makes you feel safe. That if you confess the Lord Jesus with your heart and I mean, with your mouth and you believe in your heart that thou shalt be saved, and that Jesus would take your name and write it in the Lamb's book of life, and that, you know, you could go to heaven and you can escape the last judgment, the one that's in the Revelation, you could escape that because his blood took care of your sin. He was the sacrifice for your sin. And now God is no longer mad with you and you and God are in right standing. You know, it was tempting to take that ideology, put it in my heart and just run into the wind, run off into the wind with that. I'm safe. I'm a Christian. My name has been written in the Lamb book of life. I'm filled with the Holy Spirit, with a mighty burning fire, and Jesus is my Savior. I could have done that too, but it's not real. Yeah, you too back then. You can't do it. There are too many parts in life and in the book that don't add up. And I'm brave enough not see it, not to not feel it, and not to not know it. So I'm just saying, most of everything that we're going through here in the United States goes right back to that. It's not that the people that are in charge believe it. It's the very fact they used it. They use the fact that millions of people believe it in order to bring their will to pass. Did y'all get that? When you got millions, hundreds of millions of Christians on board under that one name, Christian, that is power. And so the only thing that they had to do was finesse the Christians. And there we go. So if a demon or devil or entity or any type of negative, nasty ass narcissistic pastor wants to live the good life or wants to have lots of power and create something big and massive, only thing he need to do is just go up under that Christian brand. That's it. And then play the game. That's all you have to do. And that's what they did. Because when my auntie told me today that my other aunt and my cousin, one of my best cousins, is Black MAGA, but it makes sense though. It makes sense. Because I told y'all, these people are narcissists. And you say, Cheryl, what does that mean? These people don't have no love in them anyway. It's all a mask. You be like, Cheryl, please don't go there. No, it is. It's all about the image. I want to look like a good person. I want to fit in society. I want to be able to be blessed. Christianity, that's a big brand. You get a bunch of Christian clients. Where y'all at? You get a bunch of Christian clients and you can make a lot of money. You know? Just pretend. That's all you have to do, Cheryl Grabowski. Why can't you just go by the program and play the game? Why can't you be like the rest of them, Cheryl? Why can't you just do it their way? Why can't you just get in to fit in? Why can't you just be a part of the crowd? I can't do that. I would never. Anyway, Bye, Tanya Boo. Kisses and hugs. I see y'all a little bit later on today with a mukbang. Oh, no, no, no. We're going to have a gathering at my house, so I'll see y'all there. Bye, guys. Bye, Tanya Boo. Thank you again.